What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ma, as I am Canico, CEO, founder, all that. You know what I'm saying? Here I am. So I wanted to just real quick talk about why I got into candle making. You know, I know a lot of people have different reasons for getting into candle making. I won't make the story long and drawn out. I'll try to keep it simple to the point, but without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so why did I start candle making? So for me, this is going to be, first off, it's going to be funny. I watch like a lot of finance podcasts and stuff like that. And one of my favorite financiers is Earn Your Leisure. That's a big podcast. Shout out to them that I watch. I'm not promoting anybody. That's just what I do. And it was a Soulja Boy interview where Soulja Boy, right? Soulja Boy interview. All love the Soulja Boy interview where he was kind of like, you know, he does stuff because he wants it to be authentic and he wants something that he knows people will support. Like people support him, people will support it. And so for me, I felt like the same thing. I was like, you know, I know people. You know, I think people support what I do if I do it. And I knew I liked candles. Like I kind of had thought about doing candles just because I like them. And I was like, you know what? I think that'll be something to like really do, to kind of lean in towards and just try. So I literally went to, it was Michael's. I literally went to Michael's. I think I got like this little kit. And then I went to Dollar Tree and I got some glasses. And then I made my first candles. You know what I mean? Like with the boiling method, which I'll do a separate video about that. But with the boiling method, and that's how I made my first candles with the scents and everything. Obviously, it wasn't good, but you know, just like I said, I had family and friends that would support me and just try. And so that's what they did. You know, I also got into candle making for mental health reasons. You know, as a person who has struggled with mental health, as a lot of people have, you know, that's just a way for me to like kind of stay calm, kind of relax, kind of, you know, just take the edge off. Something that I could do that would be fun for me, but that also, you know, would take my mind off of whatever was going on in life. You know, I wasn't too far removed from college. So just trying to, you know, just struggling with like the transition from college into the real world, but then also just finding something to do in my spare time that was good for my mind that I could actually hone in on and use. I think that was dope. You know, I think also, you know, everybody knows that, you know, candle making, you know, a lot of women like candles and, you know, hey, you know, I can't be mad at that. So that's kind of dope, but it also helps me build a lot of different relationships with people too, you know. And I knew that something like as simple as candles, like I knew I like candles. A lot of my, you know, homeboys and stuff, guy friends like candles. A lot of my girlfriends like candles. And I just thought that would be like a cool thing. Okay, let's do something that I know that people would like. I know that people will enjoy, because I know when I was in college, we used to always light candles and stuff in our apartment just to smell good, you know, for the girls. But then also for each other. You know, guys can be funky, man. They can stink sometimes. So, you know, and we cooked a lot and, you know, we had a lot of different people over. So just, you know, just kind of be able to cleanse the air in the apartment, you know. So I thought back to all those moments and I was like, you know what, a candle would be something dope. You know, also me, you know, being a black male, that's not something you see often is black male candle makers, you know, just being honest. You know, that's just not something that you see too often. I see it more common these days, but it's still something that a lot of men don't do, let alone black men do. So I just thought that would be something dope to get into, man, just candle making, for, you know, for relaxation, for, you know, for mental health, for expression. You know what I mean? I can make whatever scent that I want, however I want it, just for me, you know. And I also wanted to create something where it's like, okay, no matter what I do, I can be happy with it. And then I also can physically see progress as time is going on. You know, I think that's important sometimes, especially in the things that you want to do and you want to create, is finding something that you can like consistently see, okay, I made this progress in 3 months. I made this progress in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I've seen the progress and I've seen the growth. You know, I actually made a short about that. If you go through my videos, you can see the progress of the different candles that I've made over the years. Now, I'm not a professional. It's still things that I have to, you know, learn and grow through, but I've seen the progress, you know. And it's also, I wasn't a science person. Like I never was a big science person, but candle making is chemistry. You know what I mean? That's all it is chemistry. So it's like, that gives me a new look at chemistry and mathematics and science and different things, you know. I think that's super dope. I think for anybody, you know, especially for those who has kids who are in school, you know, who struggle with different subjects. You know, I was an educator as well. Side note to the side note. I was an educator as well. So I think that finding creative ways for your children to learn and finding creative ways for you to learn, I think that'll give you a new love for certain things that you might not like. You know, whether it's going to the gym, whether it is science or chemistry or math or whatever subject it is, finding something that you can tie into that. Candle making was that for me. You know, science was one of my least favorite subjects, but candle making allowed me to find a new way to express myself, find a new way to try this, you know, formula, see if I like this, see if I like that. And then just being able to put it out into the world. Like, I'm not a salesy person, so I don't like to sell people. So me doing candles is like, okay, well, this is something that I know people like because I like it and I know my friends like it. So I think that this could do well as a business just because people like it. You know what I mean? And that's another lesson. Like, if, you know, you want to start a business, you know, you could do the things you like, but also find stuff that other people like too, because it'll be easier for you to start and it'll be easier for you to find people to sell to or that like what you like, you know? So those are the main reasons that I got into candle making. I know it might be a lot in like a short video, but that's really what it is. You know, always to make some money, you know, because we got to make money in this life. Always to create ourselves and to take care of our mind and our body, you know, find a form of expression. And also to do something unique and different that people like me don't usually do. And that's make candles, you know. But yeah, that's why I got into candle making. Like I said, I'll make another video about, you know, if you're interested in getting into candle making, drop a comment below. I'll make another video about how to get started. It's really simple. It's not as hard as you think it is. It's as simple as going to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, if y'all have a Hobby Lobby, or Michael's Crafts, and just buying the thing and just playing with it. You know, getting the candle calculator and just playing with it. But like I said, I'll make another video where I can visually show you what I'm talking about, so that way you can understand. But till the next time, it's your boy Mar, as I am Candle Co founder, CEO, all that, and we out. Peace.